Warming up my fingers here before we actually commence. Glad to be with y'all this morning. Happy to have people working the sound this early in the morning. Need more? A little more? Yep. Getting all the levels and things right there. Applying the Vince Gill vocal filter that y'all bought as a congregation. You probably didn't know about that, but in the stream, my voice will be much more angelic and crystalline than you'll have to endure here. Less like a bullfrog, more like a Carolina wren online. Here it's all bullfrog. Is that that's a lot of me. Be still and know that I am Todd. Thank you for laughing at that. So when the big hand is on the 6, okay. You like a flower growing in the wildwood, bringing pleasure to the eye. I'm like a river after a rainstorm raging way too fast to die. You are a flower and I'm a river, without love or wasting time. You like a rainbow spread against that blue sky. The sunrise is your next of kin. I'm like a whirlwind blowing across this desert, the kind most pray they never see again. You are a rainbow and I'm a whirlwind, darling, without love, oh, we're wasting time. You are like a diamond sparkling in the sunlight, bringing pleasure to the eye. And I'm like a scarecrow alone out in the distance. There are those who'd see me die. You are a diamond and I'm a scarecrow, without love or wasting time.
And Southern Iroquois. I'm a member of the Planned Giving Committee, where we look after the endowment funds and carefully manage those. So if you want to know any more about that, feel free to speak with me after the service and social time. Each week we get together to expand our religious understanding and nurture our spiritual well-being. This is where we seek to have our hearts opened and our imaginations fired up. This is the place that reminds us that we are deeply connected to each other and to all living things. We are here, all of us are here, regardless of religious background, political persuasion, ethnicity, age, ability, sexual orientation, or gender identity or expression. You are welcome here in our community of faith. And visitors, if you're visiting for the first time, I invite you to stand and introduce yourself. I don't know if we have any. if you're comfortable. Okay. If you would like to receive our newsletter and are not already on the mailing list, please contact our office to sign up. And finally, I'd like to greet our visitors and viewers online who are no doubt curled up at home on the couch. And wish you that enjoyment. I do have a couple of announcements this morning. As you may have noticed, our musical talent is different than what you've seen recently. We have the pleasure of having both Todd and Meg Hoke here visiting us from the Hendersonville Unitarian Fellowship. They'll be providing a lot of our service content today. And a little bit about Meg and Tom. Meg is a medical social worker who has held hands with folks who have faced impossible situations and helped them make decisions when there were no good choices. And on a lighter note, Meg can and will talk at length about their 3 dogs if you give her the opportunity. Todd Hoke is a hospice nurse, so he also knows a bit about loss and impermanence. He's also a musician who's been writing and playing for over 20 years. When Todd's not doing work or playing music, he's either out walking in the woods or taking a nap on the couch. And both the Hokes are active members of the Unitarian Fellowship in Hendersonville, as I mentioned before. A couple of other announcements. On the back of your order of service, there is a long list of announcements. I'm just going to highlight a few. Our congregational meeting on December 10th. Please make sure you're here. 11:45, so it'll be almost immediately following the service on December 10th. Please come. We do need to make sure we have a quorum. We also have our auction starting actually tomorrow. It goes live online. The actual in-person auction is Saturday, December 2nd. A couple of notes about the online auction. Some of you may have already realized that there's early access. Not everything's finished on the website. It'll be finished tomorrow. So you might see something for $1 today that is actually not $1 tomorrow, just to kind of set that expectation. They're still working on finalizing everything, and it will be officially live tomorrow. If you accessed the website last year, you'll need to reset your password. Or unless you can remember the password that you used last year. If you haven't used the website previously, you'll need to set up an account and a password. Anything that I missed?
That's it.
Okay.
Make sure people knew that if they already had an account, don't set up a new one.
If you already had an account, don't set up a new one. Try to remember your password or reset it.
Yep.
Okay. And then the last announcement I want to bring to your attention is not on the back of your paper, but it is there's a poster hanging up on the social hall. Instead of having a leftover potluck of all Thanksgiving leftovers, next Sunday we'll be doing bring your leftover desserts and pies to the hospitality to serve as part of the hospitality offering. And on a brief update on stewardship, Kathy Crane was going to give the stewardship update today in a testimonial, but she had a little bit of a tickle in her throat and didn't feel like it was best for her to be present. But she did send me with some information to share from her on her behalf. So in Kathy's words, the UUFC community and presence has been dear to me and my family since coming to the area in 1992. Somehow, I now seem to have joined the elders group here, and it feels pretty good. I treasure this community for Sunday mornings together, for our good works, gatherings, for recognizing special events together, and for having a place to just be when I need comfort or reassurance. I have treasured UUFC for maintaining my sanity. How's it going? In this tumultuous world. UUFC's board will meet next Sunday to prepare for the congregational meeting in 2 weeks, December 10th, which I previously mentioned. We are coming to the end of our stewardship campaign, and we'll be preparing the budget to present to you, our members. I am grateful to those who have returned the green pledge envelope. Looks just like this if you don't know. Please know that our board will be calling those who have not yet returned their pledge to provide a gentle nudge. And there's about 50 people out there that have, well, 49, because I just got one this morning, that have not yet returned their pledges. So if you don't want to get that gentle nudge on the phone or at coffee, please turn your envelopes in so we can hear from you. We're all in this together as stewards of UUFC's presence in this community during these times. Your pledge means that this community has your attention and care, and that you, too, cherish it. Thank you for letting us know how we can count on you financially for this next year. Please send your pledge in today or tomorrow at the latest. Be well, and I look forward to enjoying today's special service with you virtually. So thank you, Kathy. I'm glad you're watching. So as I mentioned, Todd and Meg will be handling a lot of the elements of the service, and we'll start off with the call to worship from Meg Hoke.
Good morning. Good morning. It is so good to be here with you. We've never been to this fellowship before, but I've heard a lot about you, and I want to offer congratulations on having a new settled minister. Our fellowship is currently in search, so we hope we have the good fortune that you all did. So one of the things that I love about doing these services is getting to meet other fellowships and kind of see how you do things and the wonderful work that you're doing in your community and the way your church is set up, and here particularly the art that you have. When we pulled in and saw the art bomb rainbow on the tree, yarn bomb I mean, I just thought, oh, this is so great. So thank you all for having us here this morning, and I hope that this service is meaningful to you. If you do not have a gray hymnal accessible to you, you probably want to make sure that you do, because this is a little more interactive service than you might be used to. I don't know what kind of things you have here. As you notice, if you looked at your bulletin, there's no sermon today. It's all music and readings and a little bit of commentary. But I will guide you through all of it. You will know absolutely when it's your turn to speak, and some of the responsive readings are done in the middle of songs or broken up in songs. But don't stress out. I'll get you through it, and we'll have fun doing it, okay? Yeah. So all of that said, I will start with our call to worship, which is number 419 in our hymnal, and it's just me. Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the verities and realities of your existence, the bliss of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of beauty. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. And this first song, just to be clear, you don't do anything. It's all me. An awe so quiet, I don't know when it began. A gratitude had begun to sing in me.
At daybreak, there's sleeping dogs, lying round like fallen logs, tails, paws twitching, dream of rabbits they'll outrun. At daybreak, dew is on the ground, the streets are still, there is no sound. Moon slowly sinking down against the rising sun. Stars fade from view. The world born anew.
Was there some moment dividing song from no song? When does dewfall begin?
Stars fade from view. The world born anew. At daybreak, the baby cries. Daddy moans, mama sighs, that little one don't realize this day has just begun. This day has just begun.
When does night fold its arms over our hearts to cherish them? When is daybreak? Am I doing the child sliding? There is a responsive reading. Sorry. One of the challenges of a service like this is it's a little different every church we go to. So this is a responsive reading where you are going to respond, so you need to be at at number 534 in your gray hymnal. And I'll start it, and then you're going to respond. Gloria.
The tenacity of the earth and its creatures.
Kyrie eleison.
These children who will go on to say what we cannot.
Baruch atah Adonai.
The ordinary tenacity of plants and of people. The center of the universe, which is everywhere, not the least place in the human heart.
Alleluia.
Love that survives anger and winter and despair and sorrow and even death.
Shalom.
Love that persists.
Nam mayoho renge kayo.
Calm that is the seed in the dark.
Amen.
For endings that are beginnings, for beginnings that are endings.
Alleluia.
For the circle, the spiral, the web, the egg, the orbit, the center, the seed, the flower, the fruit, the opening, the death, the release, the seed.
Amen.
We are going on.
Amen.
It is going on.
Amen.
Blessed be.
Now I'll ask JB to come up and light our chalice while we reaffirm our words of affirmation. Yeah, if you just do it right there. Thanks. Together, we gather together in a spirit of love, with justice as our guide. This is our chosen covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth with justice, and to care for one another. Thank you, JB. We managed despite some technical challenges there. And the first correction in our bulletin of the day is Time for All Ages is not Karen Ebel. It'll actually be done by Meg Hoke.
I am not, well, we have a couple. I'm going to read from a book, and there are some pictures. So if anybody wants to come closer up so you can see the pictures, I can come down there. Yeah? Okay. And I don't really believe in mystery during when I'm doing these things. I had this really creative, brilliant idea about doing some songwriting together, because this service is all about songs, and I was going to do this whole thing, and then I thought, how in the world am I going to pull that off? And then I happened across this book, and I don't know if any of you are familiar with it. It's called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. Is anybody familiar with this book? It is, it's a wonderful book, and Todd actually gave it to his mother, and somehow we came back into having it. And I read it yesterday, and I was like, oh, I so needed to hear this message. And I said, yeah, this is just what we're going to do for the Time for All Ages. So as you can see, it's not a small book, so I have marked out, and we're just going to read little parts from it, okay? So I wonder if I sit down, you all can still see me. Okay. So it's called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, and it's by Charlie Mackesy. And I'll tell you, you should write that name down, because you should order this book so you can read it in its entirety. There are some drawings, and the drawings are mainly of a boy, a mole, a fox, and a horse. I'll tell you a little bit about them, although I'm sure you'll see things here that I don't. This is the author speaking to us, so I'll be quick. The boy is lonely when the mole first surfaces. They spend time together gazing into the wild. I think the wild is a bit like life, frightening sometimes, but beautiful. In their wanderings, they meet the fox. It's never going to be easy meeting a fox if you're a mole. The boy is full of questions. The mole is greedy for cake. The fox is mainly silent and wary because he's been hurt by life. The horse is the biggest thing they have ever encountered, and also the gentlest. They are all different, like us, and each has their own weaknesses. I can see myself in all four of them. Perhaps you can too. And so it starts with a boy sitting, and there's like a spot of ink there. That's a mole. Oh, and he says hello. He says, hello. I'm so small, said the mole. Yes, said the boy, but you make a huge difference. What do you want to be when you grow up? Kind, said the boy. What do you think? Oh, and then the next picture is him sitting on a branch with the mole, and see, he's holding the umbrella over the mole while there's rain. So he's being kind. He's already a kind person. What do you think success is? Asked the boy. To love, said the mole. Well, hello. Look what he's got. It's like a 4-layer cake, a 3-layer cake. Do you have a favorite saying? Asked the boy. Yes, said the mole. What is it? If at first you don't succeed, have some cake. I see. Does it work? Every time. And now they're sitting out looking over a big area. What is that over there? It's the wild, said the mole. Don't fear it.
Imagine how we would be if we were less afraid. You see, they're sitting on the branch again. And what's under the branch? A fox, yes. But then they're off the branch and they run into the fox, and you can see he's in a snare. There's a rope there holding him back. "I'm not afraid," said the mole. "If I wasn't caught in this snare, I'd kill you," said the fox. "If you stay in that snare, you will die," said the mole. So the mole chewed through the wire with his tiny teeth. You see how he's doing that? One of our greatest freedoms is how we react to things, said the mole. And now look, they're sitting back on their tree branch, and what has the fox done? He's made a pattern of a heart under the tree branch. I think that's his way of saying thank you. I've learned how to be in the present. How? Asked the boy. I find a quiet spot and shut my eyes and breathe. That's good. And then I focus. What do you focus on? Cake, said the mole. Hello. Look now look who he's meeting. He's got the horse. And you can see, you might not be able to see, but over here we have the boy, the mole, the fox meeting the horse. And this section right here is all meeting the horse and going around with the horse and learning lessons from the horse. But we skipped that part. That's why you have to buy the book. There's something I haven't told you, said the horse. What's that? Said the boy. I can fly. But I stopped because it made the other horses jealous. Well, we love you, whether you can fly or not. And see in these pictures, he's like gaining his wings. Can you see that the wings are being developed there? And then look, he's become a Pegasus. A Pegasus is a horse that can fly. Yeah. Isn't that something? Nobody expected it. And the horse says, okay. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Is your glass half empty or half full? Asked the mole. I think I'm grateful to have a glass, said the boy. Here they are out in the snow. We don't know about tomorrow, said the horse. All we need to know is that we love each other. Isn't that sweet? When the dark clouds come, keep going. When big things feel out of control, focus on what you love right under your nose. This storm will pass. They're all huddled together, aren't they? And then after the storm, does that look peaceful again? Sometimes I want to say, I love you all, said the mole, but I find it difficult. Do you? Said the boy. Yes, so I say something like, I'm glad we are all here. Okay, said the boy. I'm glad we are all here. We are glad you are here too. What's your best discovery? Asked the mole. That I'm enough as I am, said the boy. And I love how the fox is leaning up against the boy in this picture. I've realized why we are here, whispered the boy. For cake? Asked the mole. To love, said the boy. And be loved, said the horse. So I hope you enjoyed that story, and I hope you all enjoyed it. And again, I do encourage you to get this book and refer to it and read it all the way through. Thank you all.
Now we enter the phase of our service where we have our offering, our offertory. So I'll ask our ushers to come forward and hold the things. And while we're doing the offering, we're also collecting canned goods and food items for the local food bank. So our young adults, young children, and people young at heart will be helping with the food as well as the baskets pass for our offertory. 10% of our offering goes to local benevolence, and this month for November, it's Clemson Community Care. We'll be receiving 10% of the plate offerings for the month of November.
During this time in our service, we lift up joys and concerns. This is a moment of sacred sharing, sharing of what is important to us in this community. And we're waiting on one to come forward because miraculously, nobody else put one in today. But I have a few that I want to lift up, and so it is still so important for us to share in our joys and concerns. One is that I see so many people here today that have been sick recently, including myself, and it is a joy to have them back among us and to be back here with you today. And I also want to lift up that tomorrow is the National Transgender Day of Remembrance. It's held on November 20th every year, and it lifts up those that have been murdered in the last year that are trans and non-binary. This year alone, 25 have been reported, and there will be a service held by the UUA that'll be available online. If you have our UUFC Facebook group, you can see the link there, or if you want to reach out to me, I can share that link with you. And that'll be tomorrow at 4 p.m. And then we have a joy from Paula and Jorge that we have both recovered from our recent bout with COVID. Thanks to Gordon Crane for his help with grocery shopping. And also, happy birthday to Paula. Thank you. Yes. And I also want to lift up the joy of having Meg and Todd here today to offer this service to us, and my joy at being here for it. Oh, yes.
I just want to introduce my daughter Meredith and her children, Hunter and Arya, who are actually members, but haven't been here a long time. So.
Greetings, welcome. We're so glad that you are here with us. We have some family and returning members, and can you repeat their names so I can say them? Their names.
Arya and Hunter. I'll get them to you later.
Meredith, Arya, and Hunter are here with us this morning. Thank you.
I just wanted to mention that on Thanksgiving there will be a meal here.
Yes. And here on Thanksgiving, there'll be a meal that we're grateful to people like Mike that are helping, I believe, as well as Alan and Barbara for organizing it. Sorry, I had a momentary, my brain after COVID is getting back to normal, and I'm blaming any like little slips on that.
And one last joy for having Reverend Holly back with us after being ill with COVID. So thank you. And I'll put this last rock in the bowl for those joys not yet shared, those concerns not yet spoken, that we can all honor those as we reflect. Oh.
Dave, I'm sorry, I know it's a cliche, but go Tigers!
Go Tigers. So now we'll sing Our Children on Our Way with where am I got lost? Go Now in Peace. Can you? Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Got a little bit out of order. Yeah, we skipped right over that.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
okay, it just means a block of us.
Yes. So we're going back. See, I told you it's a challenge to do it new in different places. So we're going back up to the second song, which is Spring Days. And but don't you worry, you don't have to do anything for this song either. And the poem in here, 100 Words, I Owe You a Poem About Spring, that is a poem by Todd Hoke.
More just sort of a collection of words and thoughts on poems. But lofty.
Definition of poem.
Maggie, fetch your cane pole. We're going down to the fishing hole. I bait up them hooks, sit in that sweet sunshine. I don't care if I get a bite or a nibble. You catch more, honey, I won't quibble. Long as you hold my hand as we walk home. And Lord, of these spring days, they drive my blues away with honeysuckle mornings and June bug afternoons. Now lemonade and a front porch swing, and Uncle Tyrone, he would pick and he'd sing. Play that one again, Tyrone, about Elsie the Wonder Cow. The old ones talk and the young ones play, and one gets born and one will pass away. But that's a turning of the wheel, my friends, just the coming, the going of time. And Lord, of these spring days, they drive my blues away. Honeysuckle mornings and June bug afternoons.
Beneath dirty snow snowbanks along the interstate lie the wildflower seeds sown by the Department of Transportation in late September, before trees were in their full fall glory and hearths blazed and sweaters were worn. One more season in the never-ending chain of solstices and equinoxes and solstices and equinoxes. But when spring arrives, curly-haired, barefoot, winking playfully, how can we remain hunched over our ledgers, straining to make numerals bend to our whim? How can we resist the call to stand in dewy grass beneath a warming sun as a band of wrens chitters from the solemn oak's uppermost branches?
The moon comes up as I'm walking home, whistling on a piece of an old Hank Williams song. The crickets sing harmony while the fireflies flash in time. A hoot owl hoots, a screech owl screeches. This old world, y'all, it tries to teach us to smile at life's flirtations when she winks and calls your name. Lord, of these spring days, they drive my blues away, with honeysuckle mornings and Junebug afternoons. Lord, of these spring days, they drive my blues away, with honeysuckle mornings and Junebug afternoons. Yeah, and we got honeysuckle mornings and Junebug afternoons. I'll try. Thank you. I'll try. Thanks, y'all.
All right, so now we're going to go back down to the third song. And that's Another Summer Evening, and the responsive reading is number 548. And we are going to do a responsive reading in the middle of this song, but again, don't worry, I'll bring you in.
This song is written based on a conversation I had with my mother one evening. I was sitting on my patio in Austin, and she was sitting on their back porch in Conroe, Texas. As the sun was going down, she's an artist, has always paid attention to detail and helped me notice things. So we started pointing out different aspects of the sunset from our respective vantage points. That's what this song's about. Another summer evening, the sun is slow and sinking. Heat rising up off the pavement, it warps and bends the air. And I can smell somebody's barbecue. Spy the first star of the evening. The birds all go silent as the moon begins to rise. Another summer evening with fireflies flashing and June bugs go crashing against the window screens, and I can hear the crickets chirping now. Feel a warm breeze come stirring, and the leaves on the pecan trees, they rustle overhead.
We stand at the edge of summer. The sun has at last warmed us enough that we begin to trust its presence. The last burst of spring blossoms lavender and white and deep pink banks of rhododendron are giving way to summer peonies and roses. O source of the turning seasons, of life, of earth, of life, of promise gradually becoming fulfillment. May your people find a lightening of the burdens with a brightening of the day.
Another summer evening with flashes of heat lightning. In the distance, rumbling thunder, the smell of dry earth soaked by rain. Those fat drops go rattling off the tin roof of the work shed, and it don't show signs of stopping. Honey calls me to come on in.
If you will turn to number 660, it's To Live Deliberately by Henry David Thoreau. And this one is the most fun to do. You're going to come in at different times in the song. It's a fun song, and it's fun for us to do. And I'll be cueing you, and I'll even read it with you, and it'll all make sense.
Or your money back.
Or your money back.
This song comes from the Indian River in Jensen Beach, Florida. We were down there for a wedding of one of Mrs. Hoke's dear friends, and I had no responsibilities because they didn't know me. So I drug a chair down under a palm tree and had a bottle of rum and a ukulele and watched the seagulls and pelicans swoop and the mullets jump and flop and the crabs skitter. And just sort of enjoyed the expansiveness of time because I didn't have anything I had to do other than just sit there and be. Yeah. Early in the morning, we're still in bed. Late in the morning, we're still in bed. Now, baby and me, we're taking it easy, frittering time away. Our clock's striking noon and baby starts to stir. Darling, shut that thing off's what I hear from her. Hey, baby and me, we're taking it easy, frittering time away. There might be something we should be doing, maybe a list somewhere. Yeah, but I'll tell you plain, friends, now no fooling. We sure enough don't care, not even some.
Why should we live in such a hurry and waste of life? We are determined to be starved before we are hungry. I wish to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life. I wish to learn what life has to teach, and not, when I come to die, discover that I have not lived.
The dishes scattered around the sink, clothes piled up in the bin. There's an awful lot to do. We do not begin. Hey, baby and me, we're taking it easy, frittering time away. Yeah, some neighbors may come to visit us, some friends may try to call. We don't holler out, who is it? We don't say a thing at all. No, baby and me, taking it easy, frittering time away. And some might say we're lazy, laying about taking our ease. Yeah, and some might say get up, get moving. To that baby says,
Oh, please.
That's what she says.
I do not wish to live what is not life. Living is so dear. Nor do I wish to practice resignation unless it is quite necessary.
Now the sun is lovely as it sets, the moon dazzling as it rises, stars all blinking and twinkling, better than a whole pile of crackerjack prizes, baby and me. Taking it easy, frittering time away. Yeah, so the tides that come and goes, the earth whirls upon its axis, and I'm sure of three things, friends: my baby, death, and afternoon naps. Baby and me, we're taking it easy.
I wish to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life. I want to cut a broad swath, to drive life into a corner and reduce it to its lowest terms.
Yeah, now baby and me, we're taking it easy.
If it proves to be mean, then to get the whole and genuine meanness of it and publish its meanness to the world. Or if it is sublime, to know it by experience and to be able to give a true account of it.
Yeah, we're frittering time away, frittering time away, we're frittering time away.
So you'll want to be turning to number 521. And this is, we'll do this all in a block again.
This song was written as a sing-along. Of course, that's up to you whether or not it is realized. I'll be okay if you decide you don't want to. It's your church. You do what you want. But the verses repeat, the chorus repeats. Very, very easy to catch on. If there was some other song you were hoping that we would do today and we've not done it, as long as it's in the key of E and kind of 4/4 time, it's cool. It's all cool. There's a man that I know and he's got hope in his pocket, hope in his pocket. He ain't got nothing else. A man that I know, he's got hope in his pocket, hope in his pocket, and nothing on the shelf. And he sings, do remember me, oh Lordy. Hey, hey, remember me. Woman that I know, she's got love in her eyes, child. Love in her eyes, child. She ain't got nothing else. A woman that I know, she's got love in her eyes, child. Love in her eyes, child, and nothing on the shelf. And she sings, do remember me, oh Lordy. Remember me. The kids that I know, they got joy in their smile, boys. Joy in their smile, boys, they ain't got nothing else. These kids that I know, they got joy in their smile, boys. Joy in their smile, boys, and nothing on the shelf. And they sing, do remember me, oh Lordy.
May I be no one's enemy, and may I be the friend of that which is eternal and abides. May I wish for every person's happiness and envy none. May I never rejoice in the ill fortune of one who has wronged me. May I, in my power, give needful help to all who are in want. May I never fail a friend. May I respect myself. May I always keep tame that which rages within me. May I accustom myself to be gentle and never be angry with others because of circumstances. May I know good people and follow in their footsteps. Let's say that last line together. May I know good people and follow in their footsteps.
It's people that I know. His hope keeps me going, and her love keeps me glowing, and their joy keeps me warm. These people that I know and the gifts they're bestowing, they carry me through trouble and they shelter me from storms. When I sing, do remember me, oh Lordy. Hey, remember me. Do remember me, oh Lordy. Hey, remember me. Last chance here. Do remember me. Remember me.
It has been a joy to be here today. These closing words are again from Todd. At daybreak, I sit with my coffee and reflect on days of spring gone by and evenings of summers to come. The coming and going of time. Time spent well, time frittered, and what, if any, the difference is betwixt the two. I think of the people that I know and the gifts they bring, of the gifts I might offer them in return. We thank you for sharing some of your precious time with us today, and we bid you now go in peace.